Why April 19th? Why was April 19th so significant that the FBI felt compelled to take the actions that they took? There's never been a good answer for that. Jeff Chamar in the congressional hearings stated categorically that the reason why April 19th was picked was because the weather was good. Well, if you're putting gas into a building, having a high-velocity wind operative that could dissipate the gas doesn't mean that the weather was good. It means that it was bad. So what did he mean the weather was good? Was it good for a fire? Yeah. It was very conducive for an arson fire, but it wasn't very good for inserting gas that day. So what did Jeff Chamar mean? No one asked him that question. Well, the first film certainly raised all the right questions. Didn't always have all of the answers. So I've spent some additional time and effort in trying to get better answers to the questions. Who shot first on February 28th? Was there really gunfire from the helicopters? Did the FBI shoot at the Branch Davidians on April the 19th in spite of their protestations? Who were the people at the back of the building shooting at the Branch Davidians on April the 19th? What was involved with the explosion on the top of the bunker during the course of the fire? I think what went on here, and the fact that it wasn't documented by the media the way it should have been, probably has something to do with why you have a TV show and a radio show. You're not exactly mainline, but on the other hand, the birth of that type of communication is a good thing, because it gives the mainline media something to think about next time they want to kowtow to the People's Justice Department for fear of losing news sources. So perhaps it's a good thing, and perhaps there is good that's come out of the situation at Waco. I mean, in terms of, do I think that, do I have any idea why the media isn't doing their job? I don't know. You have to go ask them. That's what you ought to be doing right now, is asking these guys why they haven't done their job relative to that.
Well, they're just errand boys. They're just out getting the footage. It gets cut up back home.
Yeah, and what you have to do is go and find the editors.
I've done it.
And put them on camera and ask them, why is it you haven't run these stories?
Let's go ask yes, sir. Thanks a lot. Okay. I'm serious. Have you seen Waco Rules of Engagement? You have? So you have seen the inventor, the man that holds 3 of the 4 patents on flare technology, telling you that those are sniper points, firing automatic weapons. What do you think about that?
I thought it was fascinating. I thought it was a different perspective than I had heard before. I don't know that I will base any definite opinion on it, but I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a different perspective, and it taught me something I didn't know before.
Dividing black against white, white against black, woman against man, child against parents. Why do you allow this? Why do you allow yourselves to be manipulated and controlled? It is very saddening, and it is wrong, but it's something that we as Americans have got to stand up to. All we asked KI to do was report the facts. We refuse to be part of your lies. We refuse to submit to your lies, and we're going to continue to stand up.
There's been documented evidence as far as FBI snipers firing on people running out of the back of the church there at Waco. That was documented from a FLIR tape, which stands for Forward Looking Infrared Radar, by the gentleman who invented FLIR technology. He reviewed that tape and said that those were FBI snipers firing at many of the people that were trying to escape from the burning church there at Waco. And we have seen no mainstream news reports on that. That was in a documentary that was put out that actually got nominated for an Academy Award. Have you ever spoken in the newsroom about things like that, or talked about reporting anything like that?
Sorry, I can't answer any questions.
If you heard about stuff like that, do you think you might be interested in possibly looking into doing stories on things like that?
I'd suggest you call my news director.
Okay, what's his name so I can talk to him?
With what happened up at Waco 5 years ago, the sheriff, and I've seen him on tape saying that what the media was saying, most of it wasn't true about that group of people up there, and that David Koresh was in town all the time, and that he knew him personally, and that he knew all the people. He just said that the feds just came right in with tanks. They should have got in trouble for that too. Law enforcement trained out at Fort Hood, and then began to engage in that. What would you do if you had a similar situation here in Austin, Texas, and the feds began to ignore your input?
Well, I think that the reality is that local law enforcement always has to remain in control. I mean, I hope that we all have learned some lessons from Waco, you know, as far as the fact that if you have someone, the stories as far as the different arms and weapons that were supposed to be in the compound, if who I'm looking for is David Koresh, you know, I'm going to wait till he's in shopping and nab him then. I mean,
instead of killing 17 little children.
Yeah.
We'd like to hear her tell the truth about what happened at Waco in 1993.
After her speech, the Attorney General agreed to 20 to 25 minutes worth of questions, which turned out to be almost an hour's worth. The folks who protested outside had their opportunity inside.
When are you finally going to come clean about the mass murder and using high-level special operations killers to kill Americans for publicity?
Are you going to indict the tank drivers and the commanders?
Reno refused to comment on the Waco incident, saying she does not comment on pending matters.
These pieces of equipment were unarmed, as I understand it, and were contracted. I mean, it was like a good rent-a-car.
A good rent-a-car? A tank going into a building?
I want to talk about the spiritual battle that's going on. You speak about the Illuminati in this book, which I think is significant because you are such a public figure. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit, just like a quick overview about the Illuminati?
Well, the Illuminati its original name was the Order of the Illuminati, or the Order of the Devil. And they were people who were aristocrats, intellectuals, people who did not believe in God, who believed in rationalism, as it was called in Europe, in the belief that you could be illuminated, as in Illuminati, as was Lucifer, which is why he was thrown out of heaven, and that pious religious belief is corny, based on superstition, and that each person can, if they follow the dictates of the devil, which they call Baphomet, or Lucifer, or we call Satan, that you can become God. And there's no need for a God. Now, that is a statement of fact. It was organized by Adam Weishaupt in Ingolstadt University in Bavaria, Germany. It succeeded down through the years, and it was organized in 1776. May the 1st, which is where May Day comes from. And people think May Day is a celebration of communism. It isn't a celebration of the Illuminati. Communism is a manufactured, phony political concept of the Illuminati. So the Illuminati plays on both sides. But this was in 1776. As a matter of fact, on the American dollar, when you see "In God We Trust," pious Christians, Jews, and Muslims believe it means the Creator God, but it really refers to their God, because they have the seal of the Illuminati on the dollar bill. As a matter of fact, at the base of the pyramid on the seal, if you take the 9 Roman numerals, split them into 3 each, 666. Add up the bottom, you get 666. So they're everywhere. But it should not surprise anybody, although it does, because people don't think anyone is this mean to do this. But there are people who believe in God, as you and I do. There are people who believe in goodness, as you and I do. But there are people who believe that there is no God, that there is a devil, who believe in evil. And in my book, I simply document that. And that's simply a part of a generational, passed along religion that has remained underground for very obvious reasons. And they focus on... Yes, they focus on the accumulation of wealth, and their religion is this Illuminism.
But the victory will be politics, as far as I'm concerned. The victory will be an endorsement of a philosophy. I believe in my heart of hearts the victory in 1998 is going to be good for Texas, and that's the most important thing about the campaign.
Shouldn't we abolish the Federal Reserve and the CFR? That's the real reality that none of you will talk about, and most of you are members. That's what's destroying this country, Governor. Don't you stand for America, sir? What about the Federal Reserve and the CFR? You people are being lied to. This country's been taken over by Europe, and I'm being drug out. Laugh at it. It's funny, isn't it?
Let's grab an arm.
I want y'all to know my family isn't as well around. Go ahead.
Public assembly? Okay. Where's the car? I got some cuffs. Let's take him right here, up against this glass. Let's trap him on the glass. Okay. Take it out.